everybody. My name is Todd Bright. Welcome to Redline Live. This is the All-in Gesture Workshop feedback session and Q&A session. And welcome back from the Christmas and holiday break, and Happy New Year. This is our first Redline Live of the new year, and I put out a very late reminder to all of our members. So I don't know if we're going to have a lot of Q&A from our members, but we'll see how the hour goes. But we do have a ton of drawings to get through because of our break. So lots of stuff to do tonight. So welcome. And what we do here is we're looking at our gesture drawings from our members who have submitted their work for feedback. And we do this once a week on Wednesday evenings, at least for the East Coast. So wherever you are in the universe, it is 8 p.m. on Eastern Time. Every Wednesday we do this. So we usually broadcast to YouTube and Instagram. And if there are any YouTubers out there tonight, please go ahead and submit some questions. I'll try to keep checking back and forth as I sketch. And that's it. So we had some amazing themes and great models all of December. And we hopped into the December drawing challenge, and we had our themes based on that. It was really fun. And we had Kronk, we had the fancy lady from Aristocats, I forget her name, and we also had, what else did we have? We had Ichabod Crane. So we got lots of different things to go over tonight, playing catch up, but that's it. So yeah, and as we go, I'm just going to babble really fast and draw fast and get through our stuff tonight. So again, if you have any questions, I love the banter, and that is that. But here we go. All right. Okay, so first up is Mr. Corey. Really nice stuff. I could tell you had a lot of fun with the Kronk. These are some Kronk drawings, really nice. He sent me quite a few. And, oh, spinning wheel of death. Come on, there it is. And I really like this bottom pose, by the way. It looks really good. I love that chest out and everything like that. I'm just looking at this hunched over guy, and I loved your solution. I know the model, he was just kind of draping down like out of exhaustion, I think. And I like that you kind of put his hand on his back, so I could see you did that. That was really cool, Corey. I think that works really well. The only thing I want to do, though, is I feel like the shoulders got a little bit horizontal. It almost looks like his arms are kind of maybe just attached and stuck on the outside of his body rather than part of that flow. And so if I were to follow that nice line of action you have, and I know the model was kind of dipping down here, that shoulder angle is dipping down. And I'm just going to go right over your other arm here, holding his back. That's very nice. Again, I love that solution. But I just want to get that nice dip in that shoulder, if that makes sense, okay? And I think you're going to get that nice feeling, you know. We talk a lot about opposites, right? So opposites in drawing are good. So opposites and angles are a big thing. And, when you think about what goes up must come down, right? So it's like if that arm is coming up on his back, again, I love that idea. And so much about gesture is idea, like story and, figuring out how to communicate that. And so I love your idea. But to sell it a little bit more, I want to do the opposite with that other arm. I want to have that hanging down and pulling down. Okay? And this little funny Kronk helmet thing. And, everything else is fine, dude. Just want to hang that down some more. Well, hello there, RW. I see you in the member chat. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming to keep me company. I put out a late reminder to everybody tonight. It's been a crazy day, and I just didn't do it. So yeah, I don't know about the rest of you folks out there in TV land, but it's been a shocking week coming back from vacation. Yes. All right, anyway, but very nice, sir, Mr. Corey. Gonna move this off to the side here. Alrighty. All right, moving on. Moving on, man. Go like that. There we go. Okay. Come on. Come on, computer. There we go. All right. Okay, next drawings. All right, so this was Madame Bonfami, I think is her name. Yes, probably. And she was tough, man. That was a tough one, but a really good challenge. My only thought, I think you have some nice feelings in this one. I love this one in the middle here. I think you have a nice little twist here, and there's some nice little thing going on with her expression. I think the proportions look pretty good. But one thing I noticed in some of these was the proportions got a little bit long on the torso. And let's see here. Boy, this computer is coming back from vacation too. Okay. But I like the gesture of her here. Let me lighten her up. There we go. But I feel like her torso is a little long, and I don't want to ruin your gesture, but I would make her a little longer here. And just watching that, head get a little small. You can go a little bit more volume. And the same with these two here. Again, I think the proportions, just watch that. And again, the proportion thing, you know, when you're really thinking about, when you take that mental snapshot again in the beginning and really see the figure as a whole, you know. And I know we talk about straying from copying the model, getting your idea and things like that. But, you know, use that model as a reference. And when things get a little bit, when the proportions get wacky, you know, it kind of pulls you out of the character moment. Okay. So just remember, like the bottom of the crotch is basically the halfway point. And I like your staging here, Corey, of that glove pulling. I think you did a good job on that, man. Very nice. But yeah, man, just watch that. Watch those proportions. Don't forget to give necks. Alright. So all I did is stretch your legs out so I didn't have to redraw your torsos and stuff. But all that to say, think of the whole and just block in, find your, you know, that line of action usually is there with something good, you know, a good pose, and finding those angles of the shoulders and the hips and where your feet are and your head, like, you know, just getting those things down quickly, you'll start to, and make sure you're taking almost a step back or moving yourself away, just making sure your proportions are feeling good as you continue to flow and pull in your details. Okay, that's it. Very cool. Well, let's get on to our next artist. Thank you, Corey, for submitting. Working your butt off. Yes, sir. Okay. Miss Erica. Awesome. Oh, cool. I'm checking that member chat. Quick sketch artist. What's up? Hello from the UK. What's up, Eli? All right. Wow. Cool. Eli, you're from way back when? Back in 2022, coming back? That is so cool. Oh, welcome back, Eli. This is so cool. I'm glad you're back to practice with us. So yeah, memberships, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, Yeah, jump in. We just celebrated 5 years and 250 workshops in our archive, so there's plenty of things to draw. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm doing a quick tech thing, guys. Sorry. Okay. Well, all right. Here we go. This Erica. Erica's been speaking of members. Erica's been a member for a long time, and I don't know if you're gonna find a harder worker. Okay, here we go. That's what it takes. With this one, I think his arms got a little short, and I think the model, it looks like the model's pose was similar to this, which is fine. But I feel like I almost want to, see, you have him kind of leaning forward. Maybe he's serving, right? Again, thinking about, I don't know how early in the class this was, right? But thinking about what is he doing? Is he walking in, or is he in the action of serving? Is he presenting, right? And this is obviously Kronk, and he's obviously an amazing chef, right? But I'm going to go with what you're doing here. And looks like he's going to be leaning forward. And the hips and the torso seem to be a little bit separated, like they're two separate parts rather than thinking of the whole. So if you're going to have him lean forward a little bit, let's see here. And I know the model was kind of leaning back, so I'm just not sure if you're doing like a, your own thing, which is good. Very good. Again, I like to use the model as a reference. You don't always have to copy model, Not that that's wrong, but as far as gesture drawing goes, it's like, I would say the idea comes first, and then the prettiness, Okay, so if you're going to commit to him leaning forward, try to make that simple statement and really commit that lean forward. And I'm kind of treating like this front, like his front half there is like that leaning edge. His chest is coming forward, that leg is there, rather than them getting too broken apart. And it just helps to give that movement, He's got his apron. And again, it's Kronk, so he's a cartoon character, and I'm not really sure. We don't have Tony Bancroft here with us tonight to get the model right. And I didn't call up the model, the character design. But if you're going to be presenting, I might be tempted to stretch those arms out a little bit further. I know in the model was more of a 3/4 view kind of towards us idea. But just for the sake of silhouette, you don't always have to do this. But I feel like, pushing it a little bit past the silhouette, it starts to become clear. Like it's almost like you need it. We all need our drawings to read like really fast. I'm actually working on a bit of animation right now, and it's been a little while, to be honest with you, since I've animated. Do a lot of storyboarding and sketching and things like that. But I was reminded, like, oh boy, these poses, these matter. Like, they have to read fast. Like this whole body attitude, this whole action in the body. And so play around. Like right now, like I said, I'm working on a little animation thing, and I'm having to thumbnail a lot just to really, is this the best solution for this idea that I really want to get across? Am I really presenting the right attitude for this particular character? Like Kronk is very, he's a very happy guy, you know. He's very positive, and he loves to serve others, you know. And he's presenting this thing with a bit of joy, you know, which you got in his face here, which is nice. So all that to say, just pushing it a little bit, and that's it. Okay. All right. Let me get rid of that one. Put it over here. Thank you, Erica. Awesome, awesome. This is that's pretty good. I'm talking to little chipmunk guy. That was fun. Or not. Well, I guess he was a squirrel or something. Yeah. This one a little bit similar. Let's see here. Of an idea, I think you gotta, and this may be a preference, so I'm just gonna hold this loosely. I just want to try it. I might arch his back the other way. It might be a little awkward to stand like that with your back arched this way and the butt out, you know. But if I'm more relaxed and, you know, I have that nice turn, you know, do that nice turn that you're doing, I think you know, I know exactly what he's doing. I could see that you have a nice staging with your squirrel and the big long arm point and stuff like that. But I almost want to commit to that lean there. Reverse that back. Cool. All right. Anyway, that's all. Okay. Very cool. Mr. Scott. Scott, really nice stuff. Dude, I love this one and the roller coaster. I think it's so fun. I could tell you and many other people had a really fun time with the Kronk day that we had. That was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Coffee, 8:30 at night. Oh yeah, gotta do it. And I'll still sleep like a baby. I'm one of those people. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't want to do anything to this, Scott. I just really thought it was great. And really nice staging with your squirrel chat right there. Very fun. Let's see here. I love just like the cool gestural power that you have and that hunched over guy. That's very cool. The bent over guy, just a nitpicky. I kind of wonder what we can do with that arm. I feel like it's a little, let's see here. We lost him a little bit in the shoulder area. Pesky shoulders. I get it. Just a little thing though. I love the face that you did. He's great. But I feel like his shoulder, especially Kronk, again, you don't have to be on model for these, you know. I wasn't either. But I feel like his deltoid is going to be way out there. And I feel like it kind of yours disappeared underneath his chin almost. So, and the reason I bring it up, not just because, you know, for anatomy lessons and stuff, I'm not picky on that stuff, but like when somebody's hunched over like this, I think you have a really graphic opportunity with the arm to help point. Because obviously, I love the face you did, really great. But and you have that nice arch of the back, right? I'm gonna draw here. You have that nice arc of the back there. But you could also use the other body parts to help point in a way to this thing that he's doing. Like, I don't want to go over your head there because it's great. And it's debatable to mess with his legs a little bit. But yeah, that's all. It kind of helps give it a little extra structure there, okay? But yeah, nice work as usual, Mr. Scott. And yeah, that's it. Let me move this over. I like to collect the sketches here. Put them over there. Okay, because sketching's fun. And okay, this was from Marty McFly. This was our last week's theme was Marty McFly for our our first class back from New Year's break, and really fun. Ralph did a great job with this one. This is the Save the Clock Tower. He had for any of you out there who haven't seen the movie yet, where have you been? It was out in the 80s and it's awesome. But this is a pose. I kind of wonder if we could have done a little bit more with. And again, the model might be standing there, but obviously you took the time to put the Save the Clock Tower detail in there. And I almost wonder if we could add and this maybe is an artistic choice, but add some urgency, you know, like he's, I like everything looks good as a drawing, but maybe we could change things up a little bit, and him leaning forward like, oh, the clock tower, instead of, he looks a little casual. Maybe we can lean him forward, and he's looking up at the thing. Maybe not going crazy. Just, I'll leave your flyer where you have it. Or we could even lean him forward more. Maybe mine's too subtle. With his giant life preserver on. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, maybe mine's too subtle, But almost, I think we could push him even further. Or you could lean him back more in the other direction. Almost like he's, like, whoa, the big, he needs to lean back to see its majesty or see how high something is instead of needing for, to give that whoa kind of a thing. Or so all that to say, I think we can push the attitude one way or the other. And there's nothing wrong with subtlety. We do our fair share of that in our workshop, but there's just something about this one. I wonder if we could do a little bit more, dig a little deeper on the storytelling. So I'm being nitpicky, but yeah, because overall it's a solid drawing. But I just wonder what we could do. But something to think about. I don't know. Something for me to think about too, I guess. All right. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Awesome, awesome. Let me switch artists here. Mr. Luke. So Luke, I see your correction drawing there, sir, and I love it. The one up in the corner there. I thought that was really cool. This is obviously Kronk. Very good. I feel like you already did the correction, and I love the simplicity of his back going into the hips there, that line. And I know this is a quick thing, but it was really good. I feel like we could do maybe a little bit more with the legs. I like what you did. I'm just gonna put in there what you did with the back, and just looking at those legs. Take a look at the Feed the Artist that day, where we had the Joe Mosier character designs, and maybe really look at that anatomy that Joe Mosier did and really study that. He had an amazing way of designing and breaking down the anatomy for Emperor's New Groove, for the design and all that stuff in such a simple way with the straights and the curves and the just awesome, you know. So it might be really worth going back and looking at that, you know, and taking a look at the feet that he did. Really, really cool. Let's see here. We have that skirt on. It's part of the character design. You know, take advantage of that straight, which is kind of what you already have. But yeah, I think you could do a little bit more with that anatomy. Sometimes when we have like a shorthand for doing something, even though it's not really there, you know, it's almost like when you go painting and you're like, oh, I'm gonna paint the blue sky. I have blue in the tube. I'm gonna make blue, and you draw blue, you know. It's like, what? It's a blue sky. But if you really stop and really observe that sky and look at how it plays in the environment and the atmosphere, with the things around it, the trees, the buildings, the whatever, it's like you need to mix the paint, and it's like, wow, that's not really a pure blue. There's a lot of white in there. There's a lot of gray in there. Maybe there's some yellow in there, you know. So it's like, I think we get this shorthand in our mind about sometimes with drawing, and with the legs, I feel like you're doing some stuff that's like curve, curve, and you're done. But really start to consider for you, because I think a little bit of anatomy practice, because your gestures are getting really good, Luke. You know, like you're really, you know, you're even self-correcting. You do those all the time, and I love that. So that's why I'm just kind of picking on this a little bit. It's like next level, like get some of those design in there, you know. So anyway, well done, sir. Moving on. I'm babbling. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Moving on to Anale. Anale, what beautiful drawings. I'm going to move these a little bit so everybody can see it. Get my fat head out of the way. I just love the rhythm and the lines, just beautiful. I think all of your drawings were really lovely this week, and yeah, just the hat design and the rhythm. You got a lot of, yeah, the rhythm is beautiful and the movement, and even this one, you know, I love how you have her back arced there, really nice. So it's like going that way, and all this business is basically going that way. So you have a really nice separation. The staging is like you have a really natural knack for staging, and it feels good. You know, it's really nice. So really well done. If anything that I would pick on, if I was to be picky, I don't know if you assembled these later or if you drew these on one page in your sketchbook, or I don't know if this is Procreate or what, but you know, I'd be tempted to tell you to, because I learned this from Dave Pimentel. I read something that he had mentioned that he learned from Glenn Keane. He went to show Glenn his sketchbooks, and Glenn was, you know, loved his drawings, but he's like, you know, each drawing should have its own page. He's like, you know, it's just so it, you know, let it be that piece of art, you know. And then I found that not trying to cram a bunch of drawings on a page gives that one drawing its spot, you know, and you're free as an artist to really push those drawings as far as you want, because if you start cramming stuff, you might change that drawing you're trying to cram into that space on your paper, you know. unless it's a huge paper and whatever. But all that to say, I don't know if that's what you did, but I just think your drawings are lovely, and let them breathe. Let them breathe, just in case you are doing that. But other than that, that's the only nitpicky thing I got. But really beautiful stuff. Glad you're drawing with this. And I can't wait to see more. All right, RW. RW is here with us this evening. All right, this is Marty McFly. All right, this is when he was playing the guitar. I'm trying to find the pose here. Let's see here. We did quite a few guitar things. Well, I love what you did. I think you got some good energy and good power in this. Gosh. This is just me being nitpicky, RW, because I like your pose. I think you did a great job. I almost want to drop that shoulder down. Almost like he's banging on the guitar, just like, wah, and like really down. And obviously you have the straight down motion. And I almost want to see that shoulder drop and the other one come up, because I feel like the shoulders are even and the arm isn't going down enough. You know what I mean? Like with that strum straight, because I want to keep that straight you did. I think it's great. But I kind of wonder if we were to drop it down more, if it would help that idea that you have there. Again, this is a little bit picky. It's, and still maybe have your other arm up. Let's see here. I don't want to steer in the wrong direction here, but it's trying to. Yeah, I think so. And I like your legs. The way you have it, it's cool. It's almost a little bit pigeon-toed. You're just totally rocking out. Totally into it. You could even arguably drop his head down like the whole, push it a bit down. Yeah, I think so. It's just, again, it's a little bit picky. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it's almost like you need to pick that, commit to that thing you're doing. Like you committed pretty good with that straight and that arm, which is really cool. And then, but, make sure that the rest of the body is going to support your plan, just to push it, just get it involved, get the rest of the figure involved there. Cool, man. All right, moving on. Okay. There's that one. And this was the, again, another Marty McFly. Proportions look great. I know this is what the model was doing. This was the iconic out of time pose here. Take a quick swig. But I feel like we need to take, this is one of those ones I want to take the inspiration of the model, what they're doing, as a reference, and push it, I almost want to be like, I think I was talking a little bit earlier, but like find about another pose, but like finding that, drawing that action, drawing that emotion. The action is him looking at his watch, but maybe there's some emotional component behind it, where he's like lifting up his sunglasses, maybe he's like, lean forward a bit, like he's anxious, or what would be another good thing? Like it's like really go for that acting, like pushing that a little bit more. Would he be leaning in, almost like I was just saying this to the other artist? Is he leaning in, like what, or is he like shocked, leaning back? But it's like which one should we pick? And it's like, oh my gosh, no way. For me, I'm kind of half blind, right? Because my thick glasses. But so I might be like, what? I might lean in, but picking one, I'll try the leaning back one. Let's see here. It's like finding that body language, to get your idea across, sense of urgency. How is that going to play out, Because if his arm is too far down, it's it gets a little casual, maybe, right? And not just the forearm, but like even this part. It's like, can we lift that up, a little higher, maybe? Like, it gives it. Mine, we could probably even push it further, but I think my doodle here starts to give it a little bit more sense of urgency here. And I kind of made a simpler statement, and I know this is just a quick suggestion here, but like the whatchamacallit, sorry, I got caught doodling here, but like the simplifying this area here. So like the shoulder and that top of the arm are kind of leading right to his eyes as well. And you're kind of giving that staging a little bit, right? A nice clear path rather than breaking it up with shoulder, arm, and it's almost like it's kind of like falling off, a cliff a little bit. But giving this a little bit of direction here, and it's kind of a very graphic-y idea, but you know what I mean? That's all. But yeah, again, proportions, huge improvement. And again, you could choose the other way too. You could lean in and try that, like whoa, or whoa, like this. I don't know if you can see me. I think where am I in the camera? But all that to say, like leaning in or whoa, leaning back. So it's like go for it, pick one. Maybe you'll be excited about it, but at least you tried, that kind of a thing. But that first pose, I feel like you did do that, you went for it, and that was really good. So that's why we're here, doing our things. All right, Mr. Nick, we have a few more artists. Can you believe it? Oh, two more. I think two more. Yeah, Nick and Dory. Here's Nick. Nick, he successfully got the Ralph pose. This is an inside all-in gesture joke, but Ralph is one of our class favorite models, and he always does his pose in almost every character for the last 5 years, and I think it's awesome. And we were talking about it and joking during the workshop, and I like yours a lot. It's like my favorite one. So it kicked the butt of my drawing, that's for sure. You had some really nice ones. I just that you submitted. So this one I just wanted to pick out. Yeah, really nice. I could tell you had some fun during this one. I love how you bent him over really well. I think you did a good job doing that. Oh, cool. Sorry, guys. I was just not looking at the chat at all. Sorry, I got so involved with my blabbing. RW, you're so very welcome. And you couldn't decide which way to lean on this one. Yeah. So maybe do both, you know? Maybe try a lean, that kind of a thing. Sorry, Nick, I'm taking a quick diversion here. I was looking at the chat. But the, yeah, just try it, you know? Yeah, just go for it. And looking also... Oh, cool. Dory was on the YouTube. What's up, Dory? I see you over there on YouTube. Awesome. Dory, you're coming up next. Okay, back to Mr. Nick. I loved how you did the hunch over. This is when Marty was totally rocking out on his guitar. You know? Yeah, I don't know. I really like it. You submitted some really nice work. I think some of the shapes get a little lost in here. I know the model leg was just like your leg there. So bear with me. I just want to see if I could mess with this a little bit. Let's see. I like to try. I know we had a lot of costume. We had like 4 layers. I couldn't believe how many layers Marty McFly had on during that movie. It's crazy. But like, I like to try to when I'm really establishing this kind of a bend. I really want to find my waist, so I could see how my hips. It's kind of like that torso bean idea, right? That Glenn Villepeu concept. How the hips are that cavity and the rib cage. Sorry, I'm starting to lose it. How the rib cage are relating to each other. So I want to make sure I'm finding that hip area. Okay. And I like the face you did, so I'm not gonna mess with it. You know. Draw my makeshift guitar here. So I'm just doodling here a little bit, and then I could go back in and draw that giant puffy vest that he had on sticking out, you know. So yeah, all that to say, I think probably could have, you got that nice arc of the back, but I think we could have pushed it a little bit further you know, and get a little bit of structure in there. So, but yeah, that's all. Other than that, really nice stuff this week, Mr. Nick. I love seeing your stuff get up, getting that feed on our Discord. And for those of you who haven't joined our Discord server, you can go to the All in Gesture Artists and on Discord, and you can hop in. It's free, by the way. All in Gesture is not free. But our Discord server is, and you can see a bunch of crazy, encouraging artists hang out with us and come draw with us. All right, Dory, what up? Dory, I could tell you were having some fun. Man, awesome. This is another Marty McFly. Oop, hang on a second. I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. Yeah, man. So we had the skateboard out. Looks like you got him on a hoverboard, which is really cool. Let's see here. Okay, cool. All right, I was just doing a little tech thing. I like the lean that you did. I know the model was doing something else. Lighten that up a little bit. And, oh, I see you in there, Nick. You're welcome. Nice drawings. Okay, Mr. Dory. Yeah, I don't mind the lean back, you know? You could do so many different things with, like, surfing and skateboarding and things like that. So, I know Mr. Ralph's lean was a bit forward, but I kind of like what you did. I would try to, it gets a little bit, when I look at these shapes here, it gets a little bit complicated, and I feel like we can make it, you know, I think about surfing or skating, and again, a lean back, that's a little bit of a soul thing going on there, you know, he's kind of leaning back a little bit, all that weight, it might be more on his back leg. I almost want to simplify this back line here. Okay. And just like that last drawing, finding that waist. And he's on his hoverboard. Very cool. I feel like the arms got a little short there. Just a little bit. And with this arm, this foreshortened arm, I find I need to cheat it one way or the other. If everything's just coming at me like this, you know, on a quick read, it's not gonna read too good, you know. But so I could see the foreshortened thing you did. That's always a pain in the butt, as far as I'm concerned. But we got to do it, right? Overlapping shapes. But I would favor one side or the other, okay? When things are coming right at you like that. I think even Ralph's pose had that elbow up and out a little bit. So, a nice face, by the way. It looks cool. Very anime. But yeah, just simplifying that back shape. That was my biggest thought when I looked at it. And that'll help give a little bit of movement. Okay. And yeah. And I liked your idea, you know, of the leaning back a little bit more, like changing the weight on his leg. That's totally cool. You were feeling that. So just like I was saying, I think it was an RW drawing, just like commit to your idea. Just go for it. You know, like let the whole body feel that lean. Cool? All right, moving on. Yeah, you can always go back in and add the cool bumps and stuff of the crazy vest and all that jazz. Again, here we go. Another Marty. doing his cool guitar move, and this is our last drawing of the evening. Alrighty. Let's see here. So this was the guitar thing going on here. Okay. Very cool. Let's see here. I kind of wonder. Let's see. Same kind of thing with this motion. I think your proportions look great. I can tell you're working hard on that, which is awesome. Definitely see an awesome improvement, Dory, and the with that motion that he did, like wow, or, you know, like the guitar thing, really dramatic idea. I love it. I almost want to, not really sure what I'm going to do here, so hang on. Almost want to push it a little bit more, because that shoulder, you know, and we talked about this early in the session, like getting that opposite thing going on. It's like it was the big idea, right, of Ralph's pose here, is that big motion, that wow, that arm is coming up, right? And so dipping that front shoulder even more so, like bringing that arm way up there, wow, you know, and dipping that shoulder down more. And I know Ralph probably, you know, he did that dipping there with his arm. That's totally cool, but I feel like I want to push it more. There's your guitar thing. But just getting that whole body flowing together. Like I wanted it, I'm not sure if I like my arm up there or not. Maybe it should be going further away from us. I don't know. Maybe dropping that hand, those kinds of things. But I think I really wanted to see that leg supporting this arm, or some kind of a full body feeling. That's a tough one, man. Tough angle. But I feel like we could get a little more intentional with that arm. Wow, right? And because it almost looks like he's maybe falling back a little bit. He's like, whoa, right? But if he's a little bit more sure-footed, maybe with his feet, you know, and that arm is like really up there. Yeah. So I think I could have done better with mine too, but like really just going for it, you know, really exaggerate it. Yeah. All right. That's all I got. Well, Dory, thank you for submitting your work. I can tell you had some fun. I did too. I still have to go through all my drawings. I took a lot of time off, and I hope you guys did too. But yeah, that's it. That's all of our drawings for tonight. Can you believe it? after taking a couple of Wednesday nights off because, you know, New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, we didn't do Redline Live the last couple weeks. So, welcome back. Happy New Year. And thank you to all of our artists for submitting their stuff as usual. And if you'd like to join us on Saturday mornings, you can go to allingesture.com and sign up. And you can either do, if you're the first time class, if you're a first timer, it's only $1. Use promo code FIRST. Or you could do a drop-in, or you could become a member and do all of these crazy things that we do. So, but anyway, thank you for drawing with us. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your stuff, man. And we'll see you Saturday. It's gonna be fun. I'm not sure what we're doing. I forgot. So yeah, it'll be good though, whatever it is. And yeah, we do have Michael's back with us as a model, and it's going to be fantastic as usual. So we will see you Saturday.